I started a YouTube channel because I wanted to share what I have learned after being 20 years eating a plant-rich diet. But it isn't what exactly you think. A lot of people think it would be, oh, I'm talking about macronutrients or micronutrients or exactly like fiber and all those things. And I will talk about the power of all those things possibly at some point. But what I learned about being on a plant-rich diet went so much deeper than this. Here's what I learned, like no BS. I learned that when I adapted or took on and started eating plant-rich, it totally changed me, but it also took me on a spiritual journey. And that is the thing, no matter what, and we don't give this enough credit, that what you eat changes you from the inside and the out. And I know we talk about weight, but literally it changes you on the inside and out. And why is this so important? Because when you go through, and I talked about this, about a healing crisis, that you're going to take a pivot. And when you pivot, things might never be the same for you. So what do? Well, right now, a lot of us are being asked to pivot. And if you were asked to pivot earlier and you ignored the message, I'm going to tell you, stop. Stop ignoring the message of what pivoting is asking you to do. And here is why. Because the world needs you now. The world needs you to pivot because we are in a situation where a lot of things, the world feels tumultuous around us. The world feels challenging around us. And when you go from something that feels like a transformation, a lot of times you're not even sure exactly what to do with it. What do I do with this transformation? Well, here's what I think you're being called to do. I think you're being called to be a leader. I think that you are being called to be a light worker. I think you're being called to heal the planet. And one of the fastest ways, I think, to heal yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually is food. I know there are other ways, but that is the way that worked for me. So I want you to consider that. That's why I'm so just like rah rah. I say that because you have to realize that right now you are on a different trajectory. And so food can really help that. But the way that it's presented is like, I think can be a little flat and boring and doesn't resonate with how we feel like on the inside sometimes, what we want to do. We're like something's stirring up inside me. And I want to say it's not just about that book that you're reading with the recipes. I want you to obey also all the things that you're being told, like about yourself and your life and what you want to do with your life as you're going through this pivot. Let food be the concrete way that you pivot, but let your desires and your dreams be the other way about how all this unfolds. The other reason I started a YouTube channel is because, well, it's kind of messy out there. It is really messy out there. Let me explain. YouTube, I feel safe. I feel steady. Also, I feel like I have a chance of really being listened to. And I know that I can be listened to. There are other apps that I love, but the other app that I feel where it's like the Wild West is TikTok. When I'm on TikTok, I feel like I'm a fish in a fishbowl. People are just like, let me see what she got. I'm just a pit stop. I'm a pit stop for them. I feel they're bored. I feel sometimes TikTok can even be, scattered, like has a scattered energy. And I've even heard when people are on TikTok, they feel kind of dysregulated. Well, why would I want to do that? If you feel that you are a leader and you are a light worker, and I know a lot of people make it work, but for me, I felt like I want to create a grounding presence for you. That's what I want to do for you. So that's why I said YouTube is the best way. So if you have a mission and you're thinking about how to get it out. This is just a pitch for using YouTube. But understand, as you're going through this process, as you're eating, you're going to like have something that you want to share with the world. So that's why I got on TikTok. That's why I got on YouTube. Okay, the other thing that also I wanted to share is because think of the unique ways, kind of the different ways. Some of them might feel weird, that you can partner with your food. Think of yourself as a little kid. When you were a little kid, you wanted to bring your whole self to everything that you did. When I go into my kitchen, I sing sometimes, I dance sometimes. Other things that I do is I do mantras. And for example, I have this mantra and it's part of my affirmations. I took this and I put this on thin paper, but I taped it. But this is what this mantra says. It says, cooking feels like support now. The way I'm eating matches how I want to feel in my life. The way I'm eating matches, because a lot of times we don't know how to do that. We know how we want to feel in our lives, but what we eat is not matching that. Good food isn't a chore anymore. It's one of the ways that I take care of myself. I read these mantras as soon as I go into my kitchen. Here are some other ones that I have. I have 4 sets of them. One of them is build one go-to meal. One is, for example, if you had a couscous bowl with olives, cucumbers, lemon with a tahini dressing, veggie quesadilla, just a go-to meal. Why do I love a mantra? Because when I do a mantra, sometimes before I cook, it just instills a sense of peace. Now, for example, these mantras, and I was thinking about this, I was looking at all the other affirmation cards that people do. And a lot of times when people do affirmations, they do them they have to be aesthetic. They have to have like a pretty design and flowers and things like that. And no, mine aren't like that. Mine are, so if you want to spill something on them, you can spill something. They're meant to be taped. You can take them to the printer, cut them out, and put them on your cabinets, which I do. Also, they are the perfect partner to the e-guide that I have, which talks about helping you like go back to just doing simple techniques. Simple techniques maybe that you find you may have thought boring before, but nothing's boring about them. Using like your bowls, which allows you to put your proteins, your grains together, like mix and match, how to go back and get excited or bring flavor to things like steaming, to things like roasting, to things like sauteing. I have all of that in my guide. So that's in the description below. And I'm going to be talking more about using those techniques because I'm not a recipe developer. I'm not even a huge cook. But what I do know is that if I want to continue on this journey that we all do to be leaders and help be light workers and help transform the world, we have to make sure that internally, we are taking care of ourselves. We have to make sure that we are bringing more of our life force to the world. And that's simply why I started a YouTube channel. So I hope that gives you a little insight about me. And let's get to plant-rich cooking. It's the best way to help you on this journey and to pivot in the way that life and spirit and God is bringing you that wants you to be. So anyway, I will see you on the next video. Bye.